welcome to the show. Today we have important topics to talk about. We're talking about teachers, government shutdown, and important topics that has not been touched in that Jeremy show. And today we're gonna actually do that. We're gonna have the chance to interview Ms.Enriquez and have her point of view across as a teacher and get her perspective view of just everything. And so this is how we start our show. And welcome back. I'm Jeremy Harlan. Let's get on with the show. As y'all know, teachers are heroes. Teachers, spend most of their lifetime educating people and just teaching them and getting lessons prepared and so much things, that teachers do just to have one lesson done and ready, So today we had a special guest star. Her name is Ms.Enriquez, my old English teacher. She's not old, but you know what I'm trying to say. She's really young teacher. She is she works for the District 5, and she works for LAUSD. And she was in the riot. She was in the protest. Something that is just so. I applaud the teacher because they did this. They kind of ditched class. They ditched their students to get their voice out, to get what they need out, And now with that being said, it's an important topic because we also teachers are not getting paid. See, LUSD is not paying teachers like they're supposed to get paid, So the teacher union actually went out of the streets of LA and started a riot, a protest, a strike. It was a strike. It wasn't a riot because there's a difference. See, I learned this from the teachers today too. So there's a difference between strikes and riot. Apparently, strikes are just peaceful protests where people hold their signs and say what they gotta say. Now, a riot, a riot is apparently people on protest but throwing shit and just making a chaos and saying fuck this and fuck that. Kind of like the riot we had when Donald Trump became president and we had this going on.
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice.
No peace.
We got this, America.
President.
No more 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 president. President. Come on. No more president.
No more president.
No more president.
No more president.
And shit like that occurred. That's a riot, by the way. I was on a riot. I didn't know that was a riot, but what the teachers did was a strike, and I kind of got a glimpse of it, when was this? I think it was like last Tuesday or something when they went on a riot. On a strike, and they were just making noise. That was all they're doing. They were making noise in the streets of LA, and I got a chance to actually get a...
Shut it down, LA is a a union town. Teachers, we shut it down. LA is a union town. Teachers, we shut it down. LA is a union town. Teachers, we shut it down. LA is a union town. Teachers, we shut it down. LA is a union town. Teachers.
Activist, a badass. He's a badass. He is best known for his tenure with the band Rage Against the Machine. And then Auto Slave, as of 2016, Morello is a member of the supergroup Prophets of Rage. So coming to the stage right now, Tom Morello.
View of that, but I didn't get a point. I couldn't record it. You know, I couldn't get it on film, but I did get a view of the strike that was going on with the teachers. And see, teachers are heroes. I don't care what you guys say, but teachers are heroes. Teachers will always be heroes. They create the future. They make the future. And without the teachers, we don't have a future. Period, point blank. I said it, and it's just like that. You know, without teachers, we don't have a future. We really don't know shit if we don't have teachers. So teachers are heroes. You know, the teachers in Huntington Park are especially heroes because you know they were there to support me, to help me out in my situation, my living situation that I was going through. They didn't have parents when I was going through high school. They didn't have parents to be there and actually show me the love and kind of show me the way of becoming a human being was really of what it was. And you know, me living with Kayon, my ex, and having to kind of like sell chips in schools, and you know, I will get support from the teachers. Sometimes they'll buy from me, and they'll kind of help me out here and there, and kind of give me a push about what life really is, how to live life, and how to succeed in life and shit like that. And I got this like advice from teachers, and I got this support from teachers. You know, they were kind of my parents. They were my parents, and they were there to support and help me out on shit that I needed during the time, which was love, care, and support, and just mental, emotional support and love. So, you know, they were there to do. They didn't really have to do this, you know. Their job is just to teach. They really don't have to care for a student like this. But teachers in Huntington Park High School is so different, and their environment is so different, so loving, so caring, that it makes you feel like you're at home. It makes you feel like these teachers are your parents, you know, when they really aren't. But you get so connected to these teachers that it's a teacher and student love type of shit. And it happens a lot in Huntington Park High School, and I've noticed that. You know, today I visit the high school. You know, I visit the high school, and I got a chance to experience that again. You know, I got a chance to experience the love and care that the students still have after I've left. It's been like almost a year, 2 years. It's been 2 years that I left the high school. Students are still loving and caring, and teachers are still loving and caring. Even if you're not a student, they're still loving, they're still caring. You know, I had the chance to go around the high school, kind of show you what I went through in high school, what I lit, like, kind of show you a point of view of how high school was for me. And not only that, but you also get a glimpse of my high school. You know, you get a glimpse of my high school. You get a glimpse of the buildings that are getting wrecked. Actually, we have 2 buildings that are being wrecked in my old high school, which is the 200 buildings and the 70s buildings. These buildings are being demolished. Those 2 buildings actually are the buildings that were in my film, Los Angeles Horror Story. You know, and Ms. Salazar, who played Ms. Diaz in the show, we took her time to you know, come out in the film. Even though she wasn't going to get paid, she still took her time to come out in the film, learn the scripts, and, you know, still pull it off and teach. I applaud Ms. Salazar. I applaud all these teachers. We have Mr. Mendez, great chemistry teacher, amazing. I learned chemistry with him. If it wasn't for Mr. Mendez, I would have never learned chemistry, honestly. And then we got other teachers like Ms.Enriquez, who's the best English teacher there could ever be in LAUSD. I say that because she takes her time to prepare her class, to teach it. Not only that, she has to struggle with these annoying kids that are constantly just being called out, interrupting class, and, you know, we gotta send them out. And all this just, you know, takes time off teaching. It takes time off what she gotta do to get that lesson through, you know. She gotta do what she gotta do. She gotta kick kids out. She gotta do it. Go do it, you know. But just, you know, Mr. Carcamo, another great English teacher. Not only that, but Mr. Carcamo is writing a report. This is an important report for Huntington Park High School. Without that report, practically the diploma don't mean shit no more. So I don't know. It's a big shit going on. That's what I've heard. That's what I've gotten. He's right now writing this report, this big report he needs to turn in, and he's not really teaching students right now at the moment, but because he's writing this report. You know, this report is so important for the school, because without this report, the diplomas won't have too much meaning, you know, and it will just lose its value and its meaning. I don't know, it happens every 6 years, so Mr. Carcamo has a chance to write the report. Shout out to Mr. Carcamo. You know, dude, I feel you. It's a hustle, you know. It's kind of like what you made us. It's kind of like karma, you know. You made us write these reports and make us write these essays and these so like, you know, now it's kind of like karma is coming back to you. Now you have to write a report for the district, and, you know, the district will grade it in a way, and that grade will result of the diplomas, how much meaning it has from it. So, you know, shit like that is what we have to kind of view, kind of show the world that, you know, teachers have an important role. It's not only teaching, you know, they gotta prepare the lesson. Not only that, but they also have to take their time off grading these papers, you know, grading 1,000 papers, or I say 1,000 papers because each period there's a different student and there's a different paper for each period. There's 32 students in each classroom, so just imagine having 5 periods, and then you got your elective periods, which is basically your free period as a teacher. You get a free period, and that's your conference period. You know, your conference period is where you don't got shit, you don't got a class, but, you know, you gotta prepare, you gotta grade during that conference periods, or you got students coming in or teachers coming in for extra, students coming in for extra help, and parents coming in for a conference. That's when the teachers meet up with these parents when they have misbehaving students. Now, see, when that occurs, when we have conference, because we have fucking a kid being disrupted in class, now we have to take off the teacher's time. You know, she could have used that time to grade fucking papers, grade your tests, but instead she's taking her time now to fucking deal with the parent and deal with the student that is misbehaving and interrupting class. Now, see, this is why I call teachers heroes, and they need a higher paycheck, because not only are they're hustling to get the class done, and you know, they take half of their fucking personal life, you know, time. This is my personal time. Taking off my personal time to write the lesson for tomorrow. You know, so teachers are just so amazing. They're great at their job. You know, they do this job and they get it right and they get it done. You know, and just students that misbehave are just an extra factor, an extra negative factor to the situation that they're going through. And they're not only stressing about getting this fucking class done and getting the lesson through, but they're also stressing about, like, what am I gonna teach next? You know, what's next? What's gonna happen? So with that being said, teachers need a higher pay. They really do need a higher pay. And just the fact that LAUSD is keeping that check in their pockets, you know, the board members of LAUSD are getting paid higher than the teachers, you know, that's preposterous, because teachers do more of a job than somebody who's just standing in front of a computer, kind of monitoring all the schools. That's way different than having to deal with 32 kids every fucking period, have to deal with their annoying asses, have to deal with, you know, just stress from school, from kids who are talking about me or doing some extra shit that's not supposed to, and I have to take care of that, and kind of just like, okay, what's next, you know, kind of shit. And teachers just every day, they're at it, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're at it, they're just going at it, and they keep on going at it. You know, the great, amazing part about being a teacher is like, robot teachers will teach the same subject, same time, and it's just gonna be the same shit. See, with teachers, they find many ways to teach the same subject without being boring or without having to repeat the lesson. Kind of like, you know, I failed classes back in high school, and I've seen how they just teach the same thing, but they teach it differently every year. It's just different. And that's the cool part about being a human teacher. They find ways to kind of teach the students for them to learn differently than last year. See, last year I taught you this, but this year I'm teaching you this, but differently. And that's the cool part about being a teacher. They find different ways to teach. They can't teach the same thing, but they do teach the same thing, but differently. That's what I've noticed. And you know, teachers are they're human beings, but they're more than human beings. You know, they're just amazing. They're heroes. You know, they're just heroes for me. And I applaud them. I really do. I appreciate their job. You know, I appreciate Mr. Carcamo. You know, Mr. Mendez, great chemistry teacher. Carcamo is an English teacher for 9th and 10th. I believe he's teaching 11th, but now he's doing this report. He's not really teaching. You know, I applaud him. Ms. J, she used to work at Huntington Park High School, but she moved. They moved her to a better, not a better high school, but to a high school where I believe they raised her check. That's why she moved, but I'm not sure. That's my belief. You see, LAUSD, they do raise your check when you're like 50 years working in the district, or 15 years working in the district. I think it's 15 to 10 years. After 15 to 10 years of working in the same high school, you get a raise or something like that. I'm not sure how it works, but I know new teachers don't get paid as much as the teachers who've been working in the district. But I mean, they do really need a raise, because teaching is a tough career. It's a tough job, and you just being a teacher yourself. If you're a teacher, I salute you. I applaud you, because it takes guts to be a teacher, man. It takes time, patience, dedication, and just, you know, a great knowledge of mind, you know. And I always wanted to be a chemistry teacher, but after all the negative things I've heard about being a teacher, kind of just pushed me away from that thought. But me revisiting my high school teacher kind of gave me that push again. Like, you have to follow your dreams, no matter how hard or how negative it sounds, but if that's your dream, that's your call, go for it. You know, don't always look at the negative outcome. You could probably be the positive outcome of the negative outcome that they're saying about it. So you could kind of improve the situation, kind of improve what's going on, you know. So with Ms. Enriquez's point of view, I kind of got a glimpse of what a teacher's jobs are, and kind of got a glimpse again of what teachers really do, and it's kind of motivate students and give them that push they kind of need. And I've always gotten that push from the teachers, you know. I always gotten that slap in the face, but kind of like a nice kind of slap in the face, the one that says, "Wake up, honey, wake up. You what are you doing? You know, you gotta do something with your life," type of shit. And you know, I got it from Huntington Park High School. They were amazing. They were amazing staff. You know, back in Marquez High School, I never liked talking about Marquez, but back in Marquez High School, I had terrible teachers. You know, teachers wouldn't believe in me. They would just say negative stuff. I had a teacher, Mr. LAUSD. He never taught anything. I don't recall him getting up from his chair from using his phone. I never learned Spanish. He's a Spanish teacher at HPIM at Marquez High School. I never learned Spanish. I never got a chance to read or write Spanish in his class. I never got a chance to even learn anything. He never taught. You know, he would just be sitting down his phone on his desk, on his phone 24/7. Don't know what the fuck he would be doing in his phone for so long that he would forget about the class, you know.